Victoria Doyle, running for Congress in a yet unknown district. Today it's 22, could be 23, we don't know yet. We're out here today so Victoria can make a public statement to the press and to the constituents of this entire district about what has happened. And I will turn it over to our next Congresswoman, Victoria Doyle.
Thank you, Philip. Good afternoon. I am Victoria Doyle. The Florida legislature followed Donald Trump's command and passed an illegal Florida Constitution unconstitutional partisan gerrymander of our congressional map. The new map erases 4 Democratic seats, leaving 4 out of 28 seats. Republicans will have 24 seats. It looks like this. Can you see the blue? It's hard to see.
Peanuts.
But Democrats are 41% of Florida's voters. The new map gives us 14% congressional representation. Republicans are 57% voter reg. They now have 86% of our congressional representation. What that means is that the Florida Republican supermajority legislature didn't just pass a new map. They contorted it and manipulated the system to help Trump try to hold on to a Republican majority in Congress. On the same day, the United States Supreme Court gutted the last piece of the Voting Rights Act of 1965. That act protected majority black congressional districts. Now they can be broken up and diluted, which is exactly what DeSantis has done with this new map. Belle Glade, Pahokee, and Royal Palm Beach were in a majority black congressional district, and now they're part of a Republican district that stretches to Naples on the Gulf Coast. It is massive. Northern Palm Beach County, all the way west, across the alligators to Naples. As a lawyer, I spent 30 years working in the federal legal system. And our federal laws are supposed to be grounded in fairness, transparency, and equal protection under the law. This map fails all of those foundational American legal values. It is manifestly unfair to Democrats and black Floridians. DeSantis created the map in secrecy, not transparent, and of course we didn't get to vote on it like the voters of California and Virginia did. And the new map denies Florida voters and candidates equal protection under the law. One person, one vote? Not. One person, one gerrymandered, predetermined outcome as a result of map manipulation. No wonder so many voters are cynical about their vote counting. And let's say it out loud. Republicans hate democracy because they can't win when the maps are fair. Especially not this year, when more than 60% of Americans think Trump is doing a terrible job. They are facing a pummeling in November. They know it, and they're cheating to try to get around it. Meanwhile, my primary that I've been running for a year is in less than 4 months. I don't know what district I'm running in yet, and the voters don't know who the candidates are. Many groups and organizations are exploring lawsuits to keep this map from taking effect. I will support those lawsuits because our democracy, thank you. Our democracy is precious and it deserves defending. Thank you for coming, everybody. We have more speakers. I'd like to introduce Lev Parnas, a former Republican.
Former Trumper.
Now a true blue Democrat who's running for Congress here, and he'll explain his plans. Thanks for coming, Lev.
It's my pleasure to stand here along with such fighters that, like I say every day when I speak out, that we need a new Democratic leadership, a new Democratic party, a party that's willing to fight, stand up, and not just be somewhere in the backgrounds taking pictures. And that's why, Victoria, I'm here standing alongside with you.
Thank you, Lev.
And for those of you that don't know, my name is Lev Parnas, and I am running for the Florida 27th District in the great state of Florida.
Yes.
Against Maria Salazar. It's time to take our, state back. But we are gathered here today because something very serious is happening in this our great state of Florida. We're here because Ron DeSantis and the Republican machine have decided that if they cannot win fairly, they're going to change the rules. We're here because the governor of Florida is trying to discard the will of the people, ignore the Florida Constitution, and hand Donald Trump a rigged constitutional map. We're here because they are trying to take away our voices and they're trying to weaken our votes. They're trying to strip away the constitutional protections that Florida voters themselves put in place to stop exactly this kind of abuse that we're seeing today. And let's be very clear about this. What we are watching is coming directly from Washington, D.C. Under Donald Trump is the same playbook Ron DeSantis has been testing here in Florida for years. While Trump is taking control of elections from Washington, DeSantis is doing the same thing here in Florida. It's the same agenda, it's the same machine, same goal, and it's power at any cost. That is why I'm proud to stand here today alongside other candidates, leaders who understand what is at stake in Florida, including Victoria Doyle and Bernard Taylor, candidates for Congress, which district we don't know yet because of this crazy gerrymander. And I want to make it very clear, I'm here today not only as a candidate for the great District 27, but more importantly, I'm here as a Floridian. I'm here as a Floridian who refuses to stay silent while Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump try to steal representation from the people of the state.
Bravo.
And I want to remind each and every one of you that there is a reason Florida voters passed the Fair District Amendment to our state constitution. Because in 2010, Florida voters overwhelmingly approved these protections to stop politicians from drawing districts to favor themselves, their party, or the powerful interests behind them. The people of Florida made it clear voters should choose their representatives, not the politicians should choose their voters. Those protections were put in place for exactly moments like this. They were in place to stop politicians like Ron DeSantis from manipulating the maps, silencing communities, and turning our great elections into a rigged game. But Ron DeSantis and the Republican Legislative Party pushed forward anyway, because Donald Trump wants Florida locked down. And Ron DeSantis is doing everything in his power to give it to him. They are pushing through a map designed to turn Florida into a one-party state. A map that gives Republicans an overwhelming majority of congressional seats while silencing millions and millions of voters who do not agree with them.
That's right.
And folks, that is not representation. That's called a rigged system. They're trying to choose their voters because they're afraid their voters are choosing somebody else. And let's be very clear, this didn't just start with this map. This has been part of a much bigger plan. For years, DeSantis has been signing law after law to make it harder for Floridians to vote. Restrictions on mail-in voting, restrictions on ballot drop boxes, new burdens on voters' registration groups, attacks on student voting, proof of citizenship requirements, more barriers, more confusion, more intimidation, all sold to the public under the fake language of election integrity. But when they say election integrity, folks, what they really mean is election control. This is the Florida version of what Trump's national election control agenda is, the Save America Act. Ron DeSantis is not doing this for the people of Florida. He is doing it to appease one man and one man only, Donald Trump, his leader. And he's doing it because the MAGA machine has already seen what happened when the people actually show up. We saw it in Miami when Eileen Higgins became Miami's first Democratic mayor. Trump endorsed Republican Emilio Gonzalez, and then decades of Republican control in City Hall. And then we saw it here, right here in Palm Beach, folks, right here in Donald Trump's own backyard when Emily Gregory flipped the
Emily!
See the district that included Mar-a-Lago, his home. And we saw it in the Hillsborough County when Brian Nathan flipped Senate District 14 in a special election because victory against Republican state representatives. So from Miami to Palm Beach to Hillsborough, the message is clear. When voters show up, this machine can and will be beaten. And this is why they are redrawing the maps. This is why they're trying to make it harder to vote. This is why they're trying to lock down Florida before people could even get to the ballot boxes, because they know the truth. And the truth is that the people are tired and the people are awake. People are starting to win. So instead of winning people over, they're trying to redraw the battlefield. Instead of earning their votes, they're trying to erase them.
That's right.
Instead of defending democracy, they're trying to manipulate it. And I want to say this from somebody that has experience. I know this machine, and I know Donald Trump. I know Ron DeSantis. I know the Florida political operation to protect them. I have seen how far they are willing to go when power is on the line, and what we are seeing now, folks, exactly how authoritarian politics begin.
Yep.
So the real reason we are here today is to let Ron DeSantis know, Donald Trump know, and the GOP machine know that enough is enough.
Enough is
And
enough.
We are not going to take it anymore. They might think this gerrymandering map will protect them in some way. But you know what? It's only going to expose them.
Yes.
Every crooked line they draw is going to wake up more voters. Every attempt to silence us is going to make us louder. Every attack on democracy is going to bring more people into this fight. So I need you to hear me now. If you think redrawing this map is going to protect you, Ron DeSantis, understand what you are really doing. You are showing the entire country that you cannot win on ideas. You guys can't win on policy. You can't win by helping families. You cannot win by telling the truth. So you are trying to change the rules. You're trying to steal our votes in our election. But you know what? Florida sees it. America sees it. The people see it. And that's why I'm running for the 27th district, standing alongside these great victories like Victoria, because these races across this state, there's one thing that I bring to this fight that no political talking point or campaign playbook can replace. I know the machine from inside, because folks, unfortunately, I was one of them. I used to be on the inside. And it's not just Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis. It's the Florida cabal run by lobbyists, consultants, and political insiders. The world where Susie Wiles, Pam Bondi called home, where power protects power and where loyalty to Donald Trump matters more than the loyalty to the people.
That's right.
And I have news for you, Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump. Enough is enough. Florida belongs to us, the people. It belongs to the voters. So listen carefully. Play your games. Try to silence us. Try to divide us. Try to make people believe this fight is all over. But when the voters show up this November, in numbers too big to suppress, no map was going to protect you.
That's right.
So thank you again.
Thank you, Lev. Bobby Williams. Woo! Thanks for coming.
You're welcome. Anytime. Good afternoon, members of the press, to Victoria Dole, to everyone here. My name is Bobby Williams. I am one of the Democratic challengers for District 94. District 94 encompasses parts of West Palm Beach Gardens, going all the way back to Belglade, Pahokee, and South Bay. It also includes neighborhoods like Avenir, the Acreage, and neighborhoods just of those. This district remapping does affect all of us. Whether you're on the state level, whether you're on the national level, it affects every single one of us. I'm not a career politician, but I am a public school educator. I work every single day in our schools as a paraprofessional, and before that, as a substitute and long-term teacher. I've seen firsthand what our families in this district are dealing with. They're dealing with the rising costs, underfunded schools, overdevelopment, and communities that feel like they're being ignored. And this is exactly why I am running. What Ron DeSantis did and what the Republicans did in the state legislature, pushed through a new legislative map, not to represent the people, but to protect their own power. This was not about fairness. This was not about giving voters a stronger voice. This was about politicians choosing their voters, and instead of the voters choosing their politicians.
Yes.
And unfortunately, my opponent, Representative Meg Weinberger, or what they like to call her as MAGA Meg, she voted in support of this map. She says that serving the people of District 94 means that she voted for this in favor of them, to serve her constituents. But how can you say that you're serving your constituents when you support a system that is weakening their voice? How can you claim representation when the lines are being drawn to benefit power instead of the people? How can you claim representation when the lines that are being drawn benefit politicians instead of the people who are living in these communities? This entire state and District 94 deserves better. We deserve fair representation. We deserve leaders who will stand up and say that this is wrong.
Wrong.
We deserve leaders who will stand up and say, even when politically convenient for them, we deserve someone who will stand up and fight for affordable housing, protecting lower property taxes, stronger public schools, real opportunities for every family, and not those who are well connected, not those who are millionaires and billionaires. I'm running because I believe that in this district and in this state, we need people, not politicians, not parties, and not special interests rooting and doing the job for us on the Tallahassee and in the United States Congress. I've said it before and I will say it again. I do not fear Donald Trump. I do not fear not one Republican. The only two people I fear walking God's green earth is my wife and my mother. And Donald Trump
Good
and
man.
Mayor Weinberger are not one of them. Smart man. I promise you, even though I'm in a primary now, I promise you I will not give up the fight to make sure that this wrong is righted. I love you and thank you so much.
Thank you, Bobby. Hello.
Dr. Rudy Tinker.
Yeah, Dr. Tinker. Hello. Nice to see you.
See you again. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Tinker. Listen, I'm a political science professor at Palm Beach State. I've been contacted to talk about this a little bit, so I'll talk about it now. The Florida Constitution is very clear when it comes to redistricting. And it says very clearly you can't draw maps to favor another party. And when you look at this map, that's exactly what it did. So I say because they did that, it's going to get tied up in court like crazy. I'm hoping that it gets tied up enough that we make it through this election year, November 3rd, without this going into effect, because I think everyone's going to be suing on this because they violated the Constitution.
They did.
All right, and it's very clear they violated the Constitution.
Very clear.
So I'm hoping that the Florida Supreme Court do the right thing, all right? Do the right thing and strike it down, because you can't create new law that violates existing law. It's unconstitutional. Okay, that's what our system was found on, and that's what we have to press. So because they did this, we need to vote them out everywhere, from the towns, from the city, from the county commission, at the state level and federal level.
Yes.
This is incentive to vote them out. And I'm running for County Commission District 6, which is our western area, against Sarah Baxter, who's another insider that has been endorsed by Donald Trump. And my job is to vote her out.
Yes.
To get her out. So
Yes.
that's what we're going to do with this energy. We're going to vote them out at all levels. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark Beaumont. Step on up. Woo! Mwah. Thank you for coming.
Hi everybody, I'm Mark. I represent Palm Beach Indivisibles. We are part of
West
a
near
national
Loxahatchee.
group, Indivisible. We are a nonpartisan operation, but we are very partisan when it comes to defending democracy. And that's why we're here today to talk about what's going on. People! 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 People of Florida! People of West Palm Beach! People of the United States! We, the people, threw off the shackles of a king and formed from among us ourselves a representative government. A representative government that would establish justice, provide for our defense, ensure domestic tranquility, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty. Remember, no taxation without representation? Well, that was our original gripe. Today we have representatives in government who are only interested in gaining and holding on to power to enrich themselves, their friends and donors.
Yep.
40 years ago, 2/3 of Americans were considered middle class. Today, it's less than half. That's what you get when politicians pick their voters. The interests and the general welfare of the majority have not been represented. This May Day, we celebrate workers over billionaires.
Yes, we do. Woo!
Developments the last few days at the U.S. Supreme Court and Florida legislature show the obvious disdain for a truly representative government. The gutting of the Voting Rights Act and the gerrymander redistricting flies in the face of Floridians' own addition to the state Constitution requiring fair districting. A wannabe corrupt king and complicit enablers who by projection claim elections are rigged when their side loses are now trying to rig elections. These terrible anti-democracy and illegal events must be resisted and overturned. Let the court battles begin. What can we do? We the people see the corruption, and the power is with us. By voting in numbers so overwhelmingly large that their desperate efforts to retain and control power fail.
Fail.
Vote like the life of our country, the life of our democracy is on the line.
Yes.
It is. You the people, we the people.
We the people.
Have the power, not them. Get involved. Support candidates attuned to your needs. Contribute, knock doors, and most of all, vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Vote. Thank you so much for coming. Our message is so important. We need to spread it far and wide. Sorry, there's an 18-wheeler. After you, sir. Big sugar coming through. I think Mark Beaumont said it best. Vote, vote, vote.
In numbers so overwhelmingly large.
In numbers so overwhelmingly large that no attempt at manipulation of our congressional maps can defeat us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh. Any questions? Yes.
This Supreme Court ruling yesterday, how does that affect the Florida, map? Because I know in Louisiana they stopped the primary.
Yeah.
So.
It affects it directly.
Repeat the question.
Okay, sorry. How does the Supreme Court's decision in Calais, the voting rights decision yesterday or 2 days ago, affect the Florida map? And my answer to you is they are actually interdependent. What DeSantis has done is to break up a primarily black congressional district that included Belle Glade, among other primarily black cities, and clumped it with Naples, Florida, on the opposite coast to find Republicans. Now, that kind of racial gerrymandering would have been unconstitutional prior to the Supreme Court's decision. Now, apparently, it's fine. So we have to resort to the Florida Constitution, which says you cannot partisan gerrymander, which means draw the maps to favor a political party. And here, of course, they've drawn a map to favor Republicans. So our black voters are affected very deeply by both the Supreme Court decision and the new maps, but I don't think it will be a basis of a lawsuit because the Supreme Court said there's no problem with that anymore. So a black district has been destroyed as a result of both those moves.
So could he do a law to change what Florida already has in place, though?
Could DeSantis pass a law to do what he wants to do? Is that the question? No, because the Florida Constitution is the highest law of the state. And you can't pass anything in the legislature that will overcome the Constitution. You have to amend the Constitution. Well, we already amended the Constitution to outlaw partisan gerrymandering. 63% of Florida thought that was the right thing to do. And now we see the Republican supermajority legislature say, we don't care. We're going to do what we want. And we're going to run roughshod over your rights, your votes, and democracy. So it's a travesty, it's illegal, and we're looking forward to see what lawsuits emerge any day now. Any other questions? Yes, Evelyn. Oh, thank you for asking. I have a website, doyleforcongress.org. You can sign up to canvass, phone banks, send postcards, come to events, and otherwise we can find projects for you. We are a grassroots campaign. We're only taking small donors, no PAC money, no corporate money, No lobbyist money. Never will. And therefore, people power is really our greatest resource. So thank you for asking. Question?
Is it going to go up to the U.S. Supreme Court?
Probably not, because it's a matter of state law. Will the case challenging the map go up to the Supreme Court? No, because when state law is involved, the state's highest court would be the one to handle it. The Supreme Court will not have jurisdiction over that. We know that DeSantis has packed the state Supreme Court like Trump has packed the federal Supreme Court. So we're struggling here with ideological courts that are not doing the right thing, and that is a fight for another day. If we elect Democrats, we can try to do better on that front too. Anything else? Thank you. Thank you. Great to see you.